Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. We have two of the best players in the world playing against each other here on the ladder. Up at 12 o'clock, the best Terran player, it is Light. And in the bottom left corner, one of the greatest ever in the history of all games, it is Bisu. Bisu is in fantastic shape right now, as is Light. This just should be a banger. I can't wait. Now, I think that Light has stronger Terran versus Protoss than Bisu has Protoss versus Terran. You guys can let me know in the comments if you would agree with that statement. I think that Light is basically second to none in this matchup. He generally has the best record out of all Terrans in Terran versus Protoss. And now this is in consideration that Flash is retired right now, by the way, because like the second Flash comes back, everything kind of changes. But I don't like having to point that out all the time. But I'm pointing it out here so people are like, oh, herder, Flash. But yeah, I think that Light is the strongest at this matchup. And Bisu, I feel like this is his Achilles heel. I think he's the second best PvP player generally to Rain. And I think he's best or second best PvZ player at all times, along with Mini, I would say. Although Rain is very good at that matchup as well. So that's kind of where I am. It would be amazing if we could combine Bisu with like Snow. Although Snow's really good at all matchups right now. I'm just saying that I do feel, I have felt for a super long time that this is really, Bisu has a lot of finesse in the micro of the other matchups, and then this is more of like this is more of a brute force matchup unless you play like Snow, right? Snow will just use mostly micro to get way ahead, but of course you end up killing the Terran generally with heavy macro play after that. All that being said, though, Bisu has been showing very good PvTs lately. He's been playing his ass off in KCM. Every time I tune into a Bisu game, he's performing very, very well. So we'll see how he does. Enough prep talk there, guys. Thanks so much for checking out ArtosisCasts, and thank you very much for subscribing to the channel if you have. And if you would like to support, there is a Patreon, patreon.com/Artosis. Thanks to everyone who has supported that. I do have some good news. We have sponsored, on behalf of all the wonderful supporters of the Patreon, we have sponsored the CNSL season, what is it, 6 coming up? So the Cast Muse Narok Star League that everyone really likes is basically all the pros that didn't make it in to ASL are brought together for an ASL style tournament so that we can still watch them play, because ASL, just everyone knows there's not enough players. Like everyone's been commenting about that. Like, why don't they just make it like a bigger tournament? Because there's so many strong pros. So yeah, that's something that I love CNSL for. That entire tournament will be casted on this channel. I have a new format I'm going to be using for it. And as I mentioned, we are partial sponsors. It takes a lot to run a tournament like that. So utilize some of that awesome support from you guys to help Caster Muse out to get that prize pool to those players. And I'm very excited that we will be casting that when it starts up. So be on the lookout for that. As soon as it starts, I'll start adding the VODs. Anyways, taking a look, this is a very fast Nexus first from Bisu. He has gone into 2 Zealots with 2 gates afterwards, but Light is still going to do the pull. He's sending all these SCVs. In fact, he sent more SCVs than normal. Normally you go with 8. Maybe your Scout plus 8. This is 9 plus Scout. So 10 SCVs total. Marines, Vultures. I think Light will break this. I think that he will. We have a shield battery finishing up. You do have to deny that bunker. If the bunker gets up and you get units in, it's a problem. Utilizing the shield battery heal right there. Probes being pulled. You are definitely going to need to use probes if you're going to end up holding this. Gets on top of the Marines. Really, really well done. Those Zealots getting insane hits against Light. Now, this Dragoon went a little bit too far, so it is going to end up dying. He tried to die for this Vulture. Absolutely didn't get it. Not even close, really. Still had 2 shots left on it. And now the probes are starting to really fall. He's putting a ton of damage here onto this Dragoon. Finishes the bunker. 2 Marines are going to be able to get in. So this is almost certainly going to fall. Bisu did not get range. This was rangeless. So he's going to run up and target down Vultures first. Maybe go after SCVs. Oh no, he's in terrible trouble. He's in terrible trouble. Loses 2 goons for an SCV and a Vulture. That is not what you want. Now, if he had range, there's a really reasonable chance he can break through this. But as is, absolutely not. Absolutely not. This Nexus is going down. The shield battery's going down. The pylon's going down. Tries to run up once again. Maybe a run past. Okay, uses the shield battery. Ooh, a little bit of miss micro there from Bisu, unfortunately. Trying to go after the SCVs. It feels like Bisu really wants to keep the Nexus. Maybe because of the amount of probes that he lost fighting. But it's not going to work. It's not, absolutely not going to happen. And now that there's a siege tank out here for Light, he smashes that goon. Little glitch on the SCVs. That happens a lot when you tell them to repair each other and they just freeze. Laying mines now down now. There's no real way through this. So Dragoon range is on the way, but we don't even have a robo started here for Bisu. This, like, maybe Bisu has some sort of plan. I feel like the game's almost over. I'm definitely not going to call it yet, because like Bisu actually still has more workers. Neither of them have an expansion up in mining. Like, he's getting range, and the range Dragoons are deadly. Look at this. Light comes out and tries to fight, but it doesn't really work there. Probes get pulled. Oh my god. I can't believe a bunch of probes didn't die there. That's shocking. Okay. I'm glad they didn't, because I think he would have GG'd right there, but 2 goons die. Doesn't really make too much headway here. So that did turn out to be a good move from Light. You know, he has so many mines in front of this that it just seems impossible. Well, this is something that Bisu is God mode at. He is so good at triggering these mines. The siege tank makes it incredibly harder. You can't just run up and let auto attack kill the mines, right? Because the siege tank is going to be there dealing damage to you. And your goons might want to attack the siege tank, right? There's ways you can screw with goon AI. Like, I normally bring a vulture in as they're triggering it to try to draw fire to the vulture, right? Second siege tank comes up. Ooh, not very good. Okay, now he has siege mode. This is looking worse and worse. Robo is on the way. It's almost finished. You have to get a shuttle immediately here. I don't think you'd even bother with Observer as of yet. Like, shuttle, probably Reaver Tech. Okay, maybe shuttle Observer. That makes sense too. Here's my guess as to what Bisu will do, because this is a terrible situation. So first off, Light is sending his vulture off to the side because he wants to check if anything's being elevated out. Anything just with the shuttle in and out, just dropping units out. I think leaving a vulture here on patrol would be very, very smart, because in this type of situation where you're really far behind, you really have to do like a Hail Mary play. So I think for Bisu, unloading the units, excuse me, maybe bringing in an observer and bringing everything to the front, because you see here Light has like, he has a decent sized army here. It's not like you have a ton of units right now, right? You sent everything across the map. You know, lost quite a few units as well, and now have expanded. So Light doesn't have like a ton. He's starting to get up. He has a bigger economy right now. He's producing more SCVs. I love the wall. The wall is like super high IQ from Light. I've never seen this as a follow-up to a Nexus bust, but I love it. Second add-on coming up. Bisu is ferrying a lot of units out. Now, one thing I also want to see is a probe coming out with this. Like, maybe throw a Nexus down. But it looks like Bisu actually, instead of trying to go for some sort of counterattack, he's actually bringing his observer to scout. He's got zealots in the shuttle, and it looks like we might see a flank. So drops out a zealot there to take tank shots, drops out a couple on top, and he is going to be able to clear this relatively efficiently. Like, he lost the zealots. He took good damage on 2 goons and the shuttle, but didn't lose that much. That was not that bad. As far as clearing it goes. Now, Bisu, if he's going to expand, he needs to double expand. There's one. You watch. He's going to come right over here and double. Anytime you lose the Nexus first, you either should go 1 base all in or double Nexus immediately afterwards. Because if your opponent busted you, they had to send SCVs. They had to rally all their units. And again, you just don't have that many units at home. Light is working towards that, though. He's going up to 5 factories, which is a very solid follow-up with very good time there as well. And missile turrets going up pretty much all over the place. Very, very safety play here from Light. Being a little bit of a Captain Careful right now. I'd love to see it. Observers and shuttles flying around. This is a pretty hurt shuttle, so you do have to be careful about that as well. Looks like Light is trying to send a tank over here, and this SCV is blocking it. Dude, that's so annoying. That is so... Oh, no. Okay, maybe that was actually just a rally into there, and it just went haywire and went up here for whatever reason. But yeah, this area is one that could be harassed as well. Light has very good turret placement, though. And he is spreading his tanks out, so he does expect something to come from Bisu. 3 tanks sieged up here, a bit of a wall, multiple missile turrets, barracks floating, another missile turret going down. And I have to say one thing that's a bit surprising, even to me. The worker count is relatively close. Bisu really didn't lose that many workers during the fight compared to Light. And even with this fast command center, Bisu is mostly caught up. Light is doing well as far as 2-base economy goes, but not really set up that well for a third. Whereas Bisu already has his third Nexus done. So Bisu adding a bunch of gates. He's going into 6-gate Reaver, which I think is exactly what you need to do. Would love to see him throw down a Citadel of Adun as well. I think he is going to need Zealot legs here pretty quickly. Armory as well as Academy coming up from Light. Bisu with the double Reaver. Double Reaver is going to have to do some work here. If Light starts attacking, you're going to have to slow it down. Ooh, some Vulture harassment gets in at that 3rd base location. Unfortunate here for Bisu. He was basically caught up in probes and now down 7, so no good there. Bisu trying to push in. Oh, he actually gets a couple pretty good Scarabs. The Zealot's doing a great job with that tanking as well. Wow. He actually did much better there than I thought. Like, looking at those 2 armies, it looked like Light was going to completely wipe that army that Bisu had. That's why I was talking about how Bisu has to be really good with his shuttles if Light attacks. But Bisu attacks and eliminates a big portion of the army. Now, more Vultures coming down for some harassment. They are going to find a few more probes here, unfortunate for Bisu. Ooh! Makes the mines pop up and his goons shoot him and he picks it back up. Beautiful micro here from Bisu. You can see that he's got ridiculous micro skills in the matchup. They just don't translate quite as well as the other 2 matchups. You know, definitely, I would say probably the strongest micro-based player ever in Bisu. The thing is, when you say someone's based on something, at the top level, everyone can do everything. So it's not 100% accurate, but like the super strength of Bisu really does have a lot to do with that great micromanagement. Just so strong, so good at knowing what to do. A very smart player. Now, Light is adding a 6th factory, but actually does not have an additional command center. This is an odd choice. Normally, you would go command center and then for the 6th factory. Like, adding a 6th factory at this point, when you're going to actually start running out of minerals and everything, it doesn't compute that much. It's like, okay, well, it's going to take 50 seconds. So a minute and 9 seconds later, you have 1 additional Vulture for a big investment, right? And obviously it gets better from there, but I'm just trying to lay this out where that doesn't add that much to this right now. Now, pushing forward, trying to get rid of the shuttle, but no Goliath range as of yet. It's almost done, but Bisu gets out just before. Light continuing to push. Bisu taking this high ground. Has his Zealots coming up. We do not have Zealot legs, so that is a huge issue. Zealot legs would be incredibly powerful here. But the Zealot's still getting on top of the army. Some great Reaver Scarabs go down. Ooh, drops out that Reaver before it dies. The Siege Tank's able to pick off most of these goons. The Zealot's actually on the other side, despite being slow, getting up on top of the Siege Tanks. And Light misappropriating his Vultures. They were over here fighting goons. They should have been over there fighting Zealots. So loses more tanks than maybe he should have. Going to go ahead and run past towards his 3rd base once again. Still no defense here. The Reaver going to come in. Oh, gosh. Oh, that could have been craziness. That mine could have spelled disaster. But Bisu does do the pickup. Vulture's running behind once again, trying to kill more probes. I'm getting nervous for Light. I felt like he had this game. I was saying, I'm not sure how those got in there, but excellent for Light. I was saying that I thought the game was very close to over, Like when he had the contain up, when he had killed some probes and killed the Nexus and there was no robos started. And look at the game we're in right now. 3 base against 2. 40 SCVs against 45 probes. 82 supply against 89 supply. They're like dead even. Now, that being said, dead even here, it's not exactly dead even, right? Like, Light has an army that's kind of scary. He has a good amount of range Goliaths. Now, it's going to be hard to make this shuttle work like it did before. He's laying down some great mines. There's still no Zealot legs. The Citadel of Dune is not even done yet. But Bisu comes up, does pick off a few units, but ends up losing the majority of his army. GG is called, and Light will end up taking it, but I tell you, Bisu really put up a good fight there, and that is it. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching.